Hello, popcorn junkies. Prepare yourself for a bit of a confusing intro to this trailer reaction. This is a big deal. This is a trailer reaction for a film called MaXXXine. Maxine, starring Mia Goth. This is the third film in a trilogy of slasher, kitsch slasher, B-movie, low-budget horror films. The first being X, and they've been made in a curious order. Mia Goth also serves as producer on these. They come from A24. She's the star of all of them. So the first one released was X, all directed by Ty West. X, in which Mia Goth played a young woman, Maxine, and played an older woman, Pearl. And Pearl clearly had aspirations when younger to be sort of a sexy porn actress or something, or she was sexual anyway, incredibly sexual. And so there was that sort of icky horror in X of old woman wanting to be predatory and sexual with younger people. Then we went back in time with the sequel. So the sequel was a prequel. Got me? So you got X, then you've got the sequel that's a prequel, and now we have the trequel that's a sequel to the prequel. So this is so Maxine is a sequel to the prequel to X. Got me? Because Pearl was about the younger woman, the younger Pearl, the younger woman who was the older woman in X. And now this, Maxine, is the film of the life of the younger actress played by Mia Goth in X as she goes out to seek to her and find her success as a Hollywood actress, kind of echoing the ambitions and the dreams of the original Pearl. Now, if you check out our sort of best films of 2023, for me, Pearl was one of the best films last year. I think Mia Goth, what we've got in Mia Goth as an actress, especially in this sort of trilogy of films, is a sort of Shelley Duvall type actress character. She looks so crazy and mad at the edges. She doesn't have to say anything. She just has to look. There's an incredibly clever final shot at the end of Pearl where she's just standing, just looking, and she's just feeling insanity, madness, schizophrenia, raw ambition, but also the classic in which she's taken advantage of, the abuse that she experienced at the hands of the projectionist, David Corenswet. They're very bloody. They're very kitsch, but they're very stylish. And that is something, I have to say, of the two that they've been so far, I much preferred Pearl to X. I felt that X lent too heavily on the assumed inherent horror. And it was a cheap trick, really, of just the horror of an old person being sexual. Whereas I thought the first one was a really interesting portrait of a young woman whose ambition and fame and desire to be known and loved and acknowledged twisted into something psychopathic and vengeful. Which kind of in a weird way makes you then want to go and see X, because then it would make more sense of and perhaps justify her mad bloodletting. And of course it's in X that Jenna Ortega from Wednesday plays the boom operator within the crew that's making a porn film. And of course they're making a porn film which triggers the desire and ambition of Pearl, the old woman, played by Mia Goth. So it's all about doppelgangers. Mia Goth is at the centre of this. So Maxine, this is the trailer for the final film in the trilogy. And even though it's a prequel to the sequel, no, this is a sequel to the prequel. Yes. And so the original sequel is the original prequel? No, this is a sequel to the... Oh, God, you get the idea. Basically, this is the most recent one.
So, Maxine, your agent tells us you're quite a popular name in adult film and entertainment. Is that correct? I'm curious, did you always want to be in that line of work?
I always wanted to be famous.
If you need to read off the sides we gave you, just go ahead, all right?
I know the lines.
She turns to the camera and, through her trauma, addresses the lens directly.
Name 5 celebrities who got their start in horror movies.
Jamie Lee Curtis, John Travolta, Demi Moore, Brooke Shields, and
Maxine fucking Minx.
I don't like looking at him, but freaking Night Stalker guy in the loose.
The Night Stalker.
Night Stalker?
Night Stalker.
He's terrorizing Los Angeles.
I can handle myself.
So instead of be that girl in Hollywood.
Maxine, I'm the private detective. I had to find you. My employer is a very powerful man.
Kevin
last.
Bacon.
Ain't finished with you. It's gonna keep knocking at your door.
Tragically, another victim of the Night Stalker.
If I knew 3 people who were murdered in 3 days, I'd be pretty scared. What are you hiding, Maxine?
If I tell you something, we've got confidentiality.
What'd you do?
This is the defining role of your career. Whatever's going on in your life that's interfering with this picture, squash it. I intend to.
Maxine.
Maxine. You're a fucking movie star.
Wow, what a cast! Giancarlo Esposito from Breaking Bad. And of course, Kevin Bacon, Footloose, the man from the 80s. They even use, I think, the same font for Footloose. Well, it's great. It's set in LA. It's set in Hollywood. It's a different setting. We've got the whole ambition. We've got the whole porn scene and all that kind of stuff. She wants to be famous, the thrust for fame. You've then got the Night Stalker or the Night Walker in LA. You know, a real serial killer, I think. So are they going to invert it so that in her killing, is she going to hide her killing in the footfall of another killer? And then we've got some wonderful scenes there on set in the Bates Motel, the Psycho Bates Motel. Kevin Bacon looking great, and I like the fact it's got sort of film noir, modern film noir. It's got all that kind of digital VHS feedback, you know, the kind of VHS top loader kind of. Do you remember when you used to put a VHS on pause and it would be all kind of grainy and all that kind of stuff? All sorts of great stuff. Literally a shot into the windows of the Bates Motel, presumably because she's filming on the Universal lot. And if you actually travel around Universal on their guided tour, you pass the very house. They say it's the very house in which Psycho was shot. And then you've got all of this kind of investigation. What's the extent to which she's killing? What is her involvement? Is she doing the detective work? I've got a feeling that what's going to happen here is she's going to be hiding her murderousness in her ambition behind the crimes of the serial killer. So she can hide behind his bad behaviour and perhaps hide some of her deaths within it. I think it looks good. I think it has all those things that, for me, American Horror Story had lost a long time ago. American Horror Story ended up being too contrived, too slick almost. This feels edgy. You know, Mia Goth, she's got that capacity to just with the flick of an eye, just make you think, oh God, she's so unhinged. She's going to literally take my lungs out with her little fingernail. She's going to push it up my nose, down my throat and pull my lungs out and then use them as airbags. You've got that feeling that she could literally just tear you in two with a blink of an eye. So I like that. I like the fact that it's all set in a film set. I like all the filminess of it. I like the kind of riffing on kind of Hollywood tradition and sort of the retroness of the 80s. I'm up for this. I'm in. Are you?